Good morning, everyone. Jen Tozer, your portfolio manager here. I just came back from vacation. It was lovely, it was sunny, it was warm, it was in the Caribbean. I should have stayed an extra week, but I'm happy to be back. I'm always happy to be back. And even though it's only been a couple of weeks since we did our seminar, boy, an awful lot of stuff has happened. So I'm here to talk about it. Number one, tariffs. We got to talk about those tariffs. Now, should we be surprised about the tariffs? No, he's been talking about tariffs for months and then it just happened. But the market always seems surprised, but they shouldn't have been, and we weren't. But what doesn't make sense to me is why 10% for China and 25% for Canada? If the goal of the tariff is to not only collect tax revenue, but to also incentivize Americans to buy domestic products, why is the place where it's already much cheaper to produce or manufacture, China, they should have the 25%, because we already know Canada's already expensive. And then what about energy? So 10% on Canadian energy, and I'm not super clear, but I'm pretty sure it's 25% on all other imported energy. I crunched the numbers, that's 8% more at the pumps. Now, here's the thing. That's not going to be popular for Americans. And Trump, if we know anything about him, he wants things to be popular. So it begs the question, is this really just a negotiation tactic and technique, and is it going to change? I don't know. Nobody called me. But if they had, I would have said that's not a good idea. The second thing that I want to talk about is DeepSeek. Now, DeepSeek is a Chinese open AI company. And why they made the news is they were actually able to use 85% less energy for their processing than we currently do with the open AI we have, or all the AI we have here in North America. So why this is important is because it just makes everything cheaper. So what does that mean for us? Well, first of all, as we talked about in the seminar, the cost of AI, energy usage is already down 85% in 2 years. And this makes me think of Moore's Law. And what Moore's Law basically states is the speed with which we can process data will double every 2 years. So you get this nice exponential graph. So to have the cost of, processing the data decrease is pretty similar. I think they go hand in hand. And I think that we shouldn't be surprised. And this is a good thing for the AI sector. Lower costs is always a tailwind. But what does this mean for NVIDIA? Well, even though DeepSeek wasn't supposed to have NVIDIA chips, apparently they had 500 of them. So the next part of the game will be to figure out how they did it with using so much less energy, and the other AI companies that are competing can try and incorporate that into what they do. So if you have seen the old movie, Pirates of Silicon Valley, this is just the global edition. And the final thing I would like to talk about is the capital gains tax inclusion rate. Well, it looks like we finally got some clarity. They're not going to put it in effect in 2024, check mark, but maybe sometime in the future. So what does that mean? Call an election, have an election, get a new government, open the books, and then decide what you're going to do. So we're not completely out of the woods, but we do have a bit of a reprieve. So that's my 2 cents for today. Call me anytime. We'd love to hear from you, and I hope you have a great day.